Weirdest toys of all time. The toy you're about to see was released in 1970, and apparently kids loved it. They stopped making them many years ago, and today these toys in good condition sell for about $400 on eBay. And honestly, I'm not sure if this toy is super weird or super cool. It's called Milky, the marvelous milking cow, and all you do is milk a cow. Would you want this toy? Black markets kids ran in their schools. Follower submission. One day, when he was in middle school, a girl was drawing something in class. Well, the teacher wanted to see what she was drawing, and when she went over there, she saw that it was amazing. This girl was an incredible artist. Well, word spread, and suddenly, her business started. Both teachers and students were paying her $20 to $50 to make paintings, drawings, or to create designs on shoes. By the end of 8th grade, this girl made over $1,000, and she is still an artist to this day. Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. The middle school this kid went to had multiple fundraisers every year. The way the school would raise money was by having students sell these fancy chocolate bars. I'm sure we've all seen these before. Well, this is the type of box his school used. The 60 bars for $1 each. For the first fundraiser he was a part of, he sold all 60 chocolate bars, but he was so mad that he had to give the $60 back to the school. He said he worked for the money, so he should get to keep it. So he got an idea. For the next fundraiser, he got the same box, 60 bars for $1 each, but he put all the chocolate bars in a different box, and he wrote on the box $1.50 each. So now, after every single fundraiser, he was giving the school $60 and keeping $30 for himself. It wasn't much, but it made him happy. Who did this? Part 2. This doll looks pretty normal, right? It looks solid, fun, would make a pretty good gift for a kid. But let's say that kid wanted to put the doll's hair down. Well, I don't think the toy makers thought that far. When you put this toy's hair down, this is what happens. Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals part 10, the balloon pop game. It's fun and very popular. A little insight onto how this game works. We were taught to underinflate the balloons, which obviously makes them harder to pop. What you want to do when you play this game is look for the balloons that are shiny. Try to pop those. If they're shiny, it means they're more inflated. I once had a kid come in, he paid for the game, I gave him the darts, and then his friend distracted me. He sharpened the darts in the concrete, and then he crushed it. I was honestly impressed.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freak.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. When he was a freshman in high school, he noticed you could buy one 6-pack of Kool-Aid Bursts for just $1 at Walmart. So he had an idea. He was gonna buy a bunch of 6-packs, freeze them overnight, and bring them to school. He would then sell them for $1 a bottle. So he would buy one 6-pack for $1, sell all 6, and make $5 profit. Business was booming. Before long, he was bringing in 36 6-packs of Kool-Aid Bursts every day. And he was selling out. During his freshman year, he made about $5,000. Until one day during lunch, he was doing his business. It was busy. Everyone was thirsty and they wanted Kool-Aid. Well, he ran out and went back to the football locker room to pick up more. Somebody followed him, and they found out exactly what he was doing. When they got back to the lunchroom, he was busted. They had all of his inventory and money stacked on a table like it was a scene from Narcos. He was then escorted by school staff to the principal's office. As he was walking out, however, students booed and screamed and caused a riot because they wanted their freaking Kool-Aid, and he didn't do anything wrong. He was then suspended. To this day, people call him Juice. He is now an entrepreneur and owns a few small businesses.
Let go, let go.
My favorite comebacks, part 6. This is what I would say if someone called me trash. Hey, yo, Kyle. What's up, man? Guess what? What? You're freaking trash. Oh, for real? Yeah, dude. Then that must mean your mom's the garbage man. Are you a fan of dogs and art? Send this to somebody right now that you know loves dogs and art. Okay, my friends, welcome. I'm going to show you a picture of a statue, but it's not a normal statue. It has a dog's face. And you tell me, does this make you uncomfortable? Black markets kids ran in their schools follower submissions. When this person was in 6th grade at his school, there was a group of friends, and one of them liked to eat chalk. Here is the story. I'm telling you, it was hilarious. Hey, you eating chalk, my dude? Hey, yo, Reggie, why you eating chalk, man? I like it. Stop staring at me. The group of friends then started a business where they went around the school and told kids if they gave them $1 that their friend would eat chalk. Hey dude, what? Do you see this guy over here? If you give us $1, he'll eat a piece of chalk. Alright, yeah, that sounds good. They made around $500 before the school found out and shut them down. Wildest things that have happened on live TV Part 1. This one took place in 2015. Steve Harvey was hosting the Miss Universe pageant show, and he named the wrong winner. Steve Harvey, get it together.
Miss Universe 2015 is Colombia. I have to apologize. The first runner-up is Colombia. Miss Universe 2015 is Philippines.
The most entertaining app I've used in a while. It's called Snacks, and it's basically blockbuster quality short movies that you watch and get involved in. You make your own choices. Like for example this one. Should she shoot or drop the gun? There's all kinds of puzzles and some scenes where you can literally write whatever you want the characters to do. All the content is 100% original and it's super freaking fun. So download it right now. Thank you so much for saying that. For those of you that don't follow me, maybe you've seen this mustache as you're scrolling through your For You page. I have a bit of a situation. Recently, there was a police sketch released of a wanted man in the neighborhood next door to mine. And well, this is what he looks like. Couldn't possibly be me. He doesn't have my mustache gap. But for people that don't know who I am, they may see this flyer and then look at me and be like, that's the guy. Get him. And as someone once told me,
I mean, every police sketch of a sex offender looks just like you, Sodomy Hussein.
So my question for you, my friends, is shave it or save it? Let me know in the comments. My favorite comebacks part 4. Enjoy. Hey, Kyle. Yeah, what's up, man? Your dad's the janitor, right? Yeah, he is. Oh. Have him clean that up for me. I heard your parents were getting a divorce. Does that mean they'll just go back to being brother and sister? Shush your mouth. Who likes school supplies? Send this video to somebody that you know loves school supplies. Okay, now that you're here, welcome. I have a serious question to ask you. I really want to know. I'm going to show you a picture. It's kind of like a pencil case, but it's a bit different. I want to know, would this be useful? Dumbest things people got in trouble for at school. This one happened back in the 80s at an elementary school. This kid was just walking around the halls when a bully came up to him and shoved him in the locker. The principal saw this. He let the bully go, but he gave the kid that was shoved in the locker a detention. And when the kid asked why, the principal said, if you're dumb enough to let this happen, you deserve to have detention. What the heck? The death of the American shopping mall is happening right now. I'm sure most of us are aware that shopping malls in America aren't doing so hot right now. With Amazon and other similar businesses booming, malls across America are closing down every day. For example, this abandoned shopping mall is being auctioned off. And this is a mall that's still open. This picture was taken on a Friday night. If this were the 90s on a Friday night, this would be poppin'. It's sad to think about. I spent a lot of time at shopping malls when I was younger, hitting up Spencer's with my friends, and just hanging out trying to look cool. Their glory days are over, but it was nice while it lasted. If your local mall is still open, I recommend paying it a visit, because you'll never know when they pull the plug. Are you freaking sick and tired of night lights that are super basic? Well, I found this video on the internet of a man taking the head off of a doll and turning it into a nightlight. It starts like this. So take the eyes out of a doll's head and put it on top of an old nightlight. And then this is what you get. Fantastic. The Krabby Patty secret formula is crab. Hear me out. I believe Mr. Krabs killed every crab in Bikini Bottom and used them to make his beloved Krabby Patties. As you can see here, the Krusty Krab is shaped just like a lobster and crab trap. And the only other crab we see in Bikini Bottom is his mom. And surely he wouldn't kill his mom. Now you might say, what about the episode Cracked Crabs, where we meet all these fine crabs? Well, they're not from Bikini Bottom. They are simply visiting. And last but not least, in this one episode, after Mr. Krabs takes a bite of a Krabby Patty, he says, so that's what I taste like. Worst toy designs of all time, part 20. This one's not really a toy, it's a bounce house. A Pikachu bounce house. And honestly, I have no words. I have no idea who did this, or why the hell they thought it was okay. The entire thing is just sus. See for yourself. Hey Bill. Yeah, what's up, boss? We got a situation in one of the bathroom stalls, I think. I need you to go check it out. Alright, yeah, I'll do it right now. Oh no. BJ Novak is known for more than just The Office. Apparently, years ago, somebody uploaded this picture to the public domain, which could mean that the image is free to use without permission. Well, the image was used, and the products he was featured on might surprise you. He was on a beard trimmer box, cologne, some more clippers, face paint, and this last one's my favorite, a raincoat. Well done. Australia is currently being taken over by mice. Over the past few months, eastern parts of Australia have been experiencing a plague of mice. Check out this clip. According to residents, they are literally everywhere, in their cabinets, drawers, even their fridge. One family said they capture and kill about 100 mice a day. Apparently, this happens every 10 years. Hordes of mice come and eat all the crops. I'm going to show you a video this woman took. She felt a bite in the middle of the night, woke up, and captured this.
No! Oh my god!
What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental.
Black Markets Kids Ran in Their Schools Part 9. This one high school had a cafe, and the cafe sold peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for $4 each. $4 for a PB&J? Well, one student had a great idea. He bought bread, peanut butter, and jelly, and left it in her locker. All people had to do was shoot her a text if they wanted a PB&J. They'd go to her locker and she'd make them one for only $1. The school shut her down because she was taking away business from somebody who needed the money more. $4 is way too much for a PB&J. She was doing the right thing. Are you a fan of books? Send this to somebody right now that loves to read or loves to be read to. Welcome, my friends. I'm going to show you a picture. It's a picture of something sitting in a chair reading a book. And I want to ask you, would you want this thing to read to you at night? Craziest things teachers confiscated from students. This one teacher said that a student had brought in a puzzle one day to school, which is fine. But then the teacher realized that this kid's puzzle did not match at all. After some investigation, the teacher found out that the kid had been taking one puzzle piece from all the puzzles the school kept in the library, making every single puzzle unsolvable. This kid was an evil genius.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freak.
Dumbest things people got in trouble for at school. When this kid was in 5th grade, he was cutting some paper with scissors. Well, he accidentally cut part of his finger, and blood started going everywhere. That's when the kid sitting next to him began barfing. It was a mess of a situation. The teacher did not respond well to what happened. The teacher threw a Band-Aid at him and told him and the kid that threw up that they both had to stay after school to clean up the mess and have a detention. That's crazy. Black Markets Kids Ran in Their Schools. A follower submission. A kid at this guy's school knew how to pick locks, and he was pretty good at it. Well, one day he had an idea for how to make some extra money. He started telling everybody in his school that he knew how to pick locks, and if they ever wanted to break into somebody's locker and steal something, they could always come to him. He would charge $5 to pick one lock and $8 to pick two, and business was booming. Apparently, that school was filled with a bunch of thieves. Well, as you can imagine, one day a teacher caught him in the act. He was forced to pay the school $1,200 in damages, and he had to somehow return all of the items that people had stolen from other kids. Most dangerous toys of all time. These are water beads. Colorful beads that when you put into water, they grow up to 200 times their size. Seems fun, but it's very bad news for any kids that want to eat them. There have been reports of kids eating these, and these balls growing inside their intestines, blocking it, and then needing surgery. Some brands were recalled in 2012, but mostly they're still sold today. Krabby Patty's secret formula is whale. Hear me out. When a whale dies, it sinks to the bottom of the ocean floor. It can sustain an entire ecosystem for years. Mr. Krabs is a crab, and crabs are scavengers. So he stumbled upon this dead whale, and he realized it would be an excellent business opportunity. But near the carcass, he found Pearl. He might have felt guilty for using her dead mom's meat, so he adopted her. Or maybe his intentions were darker, much darker. Maybe he knew he would eventually run out of whale meat, and so he's raising Pearl, so when she's big enough, she will replace her mom as a secret formula, and he keeps it a secret, because if she finds out, it's bye-bye Krusty Krab. Black markets kids ran in their schools. When he was in middle school, there were about 4 different math classes for his grade. And when it was test taking time, they all took the same math test. But this kid's class always did the math test a week before everybody else in his grade. And he knew his teacher kept the answer sheet on her desk, so he had an idea. After every test, his teacher would stand outside the classroom saying goodbye to the students. He would go to her desk and secretly take a picture of the math test answers. And then he would sell these answers to students who were taking the same test the next week for $10 apiece. He made $1,500 that year. Now, we all know math is very hard, but I have a way to make your homework super easy. This app is called GothMath. Take a picture of a math problem like this, you plug it into the app, and they have tutors available 24/7. And in a matter of seconds, you get an accurate answer. Link is in bio. All right, Bill, it's 9 a.m. It's time for Pictures with Santa. Yes, this is a brilliant business idea, boss. These kids are going to love getting their pictures taken with Santa. I'm excited. Now go put the sign out front that says $3 Pictures with Santa. I'm your little elf, aren't I? Just put the sign out. You got it. How have we had no customers? I'm gonna go try to bring some people in. Black markets kids ran in their schools. When this person was in elementary school, there was a kid named Terrence. And Terrence had a strange obsession with Snickers bars. Every conversation had with Terrence usually ended up with Terrence asking if you had a Snickers bar to trade. He said he would do anything for a Snickers bar. So it got to the point where kids were bringing Snickers bars into school every day, just in case they needed a favor from Terrence. And Terrence's business was this: if you brought him a Snickers bar, he would do your homework. The person who shared this story with me said Terrence could sometimes be found at the end of the day walking around the hallways, pockets stuffed with Snickers bars, smiling, happy, because in his world, he was the king. Worst playground designs of all time. Up first. This is probably the most depressing swing set I've ever seen in my life. There's gonna be kids smacking the wall all day. What a mess. Such a freaking mess. Up next, we have this slide, and it looks incredibly dangerous. Like, who thought this was a good idea? Once again, what a mess. And last but not least, this incredibly creepy playground. It's only slides, and it looks like this. Sus. Senior prank stories. This one senior class had a prank idea. They were going to go into school one day and everybody would start throwing water balloons at each other. Well, the dean heard about this and said if anybody's caught doing that, they'll be banned from graduation. So of course, everybody was scared. The prank they did instead was that at a random time during the day, the entire student class would just sit on the floor. That's freaking lame. Well, there was one senior in this class that wanted to bring it to a whole different level. He filled up a water balloon with mayonnaise. And then he threw the mayonnaise balloon at the windshield of a bus. The entire windshield was shattered and he was arrested. Why you should never get lemons from a restaurant. If you like to go to restaurants and ask for lemon water or lemon soda or lemon anything, here's why you should stop. Tons of studies have been done, and tons of lemons have been tested, and it turns out that 70% of lemons you order from a restaurant contain feces and other bacteria. Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. He is currently in high school and still runs this business. At his school, he takes a foods class, where the students are taught how to cook and bake different types of foods. After the food is made, the students are allowed to wrap it up and take it with them to eat for later. Well, this kid had a brilliant idea. He started selling the food he made in foods class. For example, one day in class, they made cookies, and he made 15 chocolate chip cookies. And after class, he sold those cookies for $2 each, making $30. And he would make other things as well, like cupcakes, monkey bread, garlic bread. So far, he's made $230, and he plans to continue keeping this going for a long time. Suspicious toy designs. This toy is called the banana toy, and it's a banana, but I guess it's also SpongeBob SquarePants. And the whole thing is just a little sus. Tell me. Would you cop it or drop it? Welcome to the Black Market School Project. Going to school can be a real pain, but you can make some frickin' money. The problem I see with most schools is they don't teach kids about the frickin' hustle. For example, does your school not sell a popular soda like Dr. Pepper? Boom, opportunity. Go buy a 12-pack of Dr. Pepper for like $7. Get to school early and sell those for $1 each. If you do that every single day for a year, you make about $1,400. Start your own black market at school. You might get shut down, but that's the risk of business, baby. If you aren't hustling, what are you doing? Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals, part 9. Ah yes, the goldfish prize. Have you ever won a goldfish from a carnival and it died within days? I'll tell you why. They all sit in the tank all day long, and are fed twice a day. The ones that are in the bags at the end of the day stay in the bags, and most of them get ammonia poisoning from sitting in still water and their own waste. Some die during the day, and the ones that die are quickly thrown away before anybody sees it. If you're ever at a carnival that gives away goldfish as prizes, try to win them all, and make sure their last moments of life are peaceful and happy. People that were legends in their high school. This one high school had costume contests during Halloween. Well, this one kid showed up to school wearing a Walmart hot dog costume. As he stepped up on the stage, everyone thought it was funny, and they were chanting, "Hot dog kid, hot dog kid," and he won the award for best costume that year. Well, the next year, he wore a penguin costume, and as he stepped up on the stage, he stood there for a second, and then he ripped off the penguin costume to reveal the hot dog costume underneath. Everybody in the school absolutely lost it. That kid became a legend right then and there. Now, students can't win the costume contest 2 years in a row, but everyone knew that hot dog kid had done it again. Black markets kids ran in their schools. Another follower submission. When this kid was in 6th grade, he asked his teachers if he can get paid to clean off the gum from under desks and chairs. They said sure. So they paid him $5 every time he cleaned gum. And then the principal found out about this and asked him if he could also clean the gum from underneath the lunchroom tables. He said sure. It was a nice little side hustle, but then he had a brilliant idea. He was gonna start selling gum. So he started buying these packs. This one here is only $5 from Target. It's 8 packs with 15 pieces of gum in each pack. That's 120 pieces. And he sold each piece for 50 cents. But he was making $60 after selling one whole thing of gum. But here's the kicker. Every time he sold somebody a piece of gum, he asked them to put the gum underneath desks or the lunchroom tables when they're done. So he would have to clean up the gum more often and make even more money. Did you know the original Mr. Potato Head was supposed to be used on a real potato? In the 1950s, you could buy the Mr. Potato Head kit. It came with all the pieces: eyes, mouths, eyebrows, ears, hats, all that good stuff. But you would have to supply your own potato, like this guy right here. And honestly, I like this one better than the real one, because the toy is not a real potato head if it's not a real potato. Just look at that beauty. Weirdest toys of all time. The toy you're about to see is pretty strange. It's a unicorn and a person. But the thing is, the unicorn has impaled this person with its horn. You tell me, would you want this toy? Black markets kids ran in their schools. When this kid was in high school, he ran a whole server network and put it on a USB drive. And whenever you plugged the USB into a school computer, it auto-deleted all the school blocks. So you can go to any website you want. The USB also auto-downloaded Minecraft and Roblox to the computers. He was making bank, big bank, until he was expelled. Another kid at his school wanted to keep this going, so he made about 800 copies of the USBs. But the original kid shut down the server, so he asked him if he could buy the server from him, and he said sure. This guy continued the business going, selling the USBs for $50 each, and he included some software updates. Nice. Worst teachers of all time. When this person was in high school, they were in German class one day, and they had a substitute. This sub was very quiet, and she couldn't control the class at all. The class got very, very rowdy, but she continued writing stuff on the board and talking very quietly. After 15 minutes, she just scribbled nonsense on the board and mumbled to herself. She then angrily threw her pen on the ground and ran out of the classroom. She was found in the library, huddled up into a ball and crying under a table. Good morning, mannequins. You should be dressed by now. Line up. Looks good. That's a bustin' scarf, George. Power stance and cardigan? Mary, you're gonna have a killer day, aren't you? Hi, Josh. Do you not know how to put a shirt on? That's too bad. You know what happened to Carol. Take him to the furnace. Take him to the furnace! Can you come in with me? Elliot, you are 13. You are too old to be afraid of bathrooms. We talked about this. Fine, fine. Why are you always here? The worst products of all time. This is WhatsApp cologne. I just want to know who made this and what does it smell like? I'm not sure what this product is, but what happened here? Somebody definitely got fired for this. This is a pants table. It's obviously terrifying. I would get it, but imagine if that thing suddenly just started walking towards you. Oh. I've seen this around, but I don't know anybody that's ever bought one. It's a cat brush that you put in your mouth. I guess it makes your cat feel like you're licking them. These are chargeable shoes that have a USB outlet on it, so you can walk and charge your phone from your shoes. And this is a 3D printed octopus that has the head of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I actually want this. Somebody get me this. Black markets kids ran in their schools. Another follower submission. When he was in middle school, he noticed everybody loved Nike and Supreme. So he went on Amazon and bought 1,000 Supreme stickers for $15. And others like this. He went around to school every day and sold these stickers for $1 a piece. And he was selling hundreds a day. The kids at his school went crazy for his business. And believe it or not, he made around $6,000 in 2 or 3 weeks. But he was eventually caught. And the school was so freaking petty, they made him donate $1,000 to school equipment. They didn't respect his hustle, so I don't respect them. Cursed Kids Cartoons Part 1. This is the mysterious stranger, The Adventures of Mark Twain. But there is one scene in this film that is incredibly disturbing. Mark Twain brings these kids to a portal, and once it opens, they meet a mysterious stranger that calls himself Satan. This is what he looks like. I'm going to show you a clip, and you can find the whole thing on YouTube. But tell me, does this creep you out?
An angel. What's your name? Satan. Uh-oh. What's the matter? Nothing. Only it's sure a sorry name for an angel. Please, come in.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. At one elementary school, everyone loved cinnamon-flavored toothpicks. And this kid realized at his house he had bags of hundreds and hundreds of cinnamon-flavored toothpicks. So he had an idea. He brought them to school and started selling them for 25 cents each. Immediately, business was booming. He had tons of customers every single day. He then decided to raise the price of these toothpicks from 25 cents to $1. And as ridiculous as that sounds, kids that could afford it were still paying for cinnamon-flavored toothpicks. In total, he made about $150, which is not bad for someone in elementary school. Would you use this toilet? The picture you're about to see is a toilet with a glass floor that sits above a 15-story elevator shaft. You can dump, but just don't look down. The rats in New York are getting bigger. That's right. This new video shows that the rats in New York are getting bigger and hungrier. If you're from New York, just remember, if you don't bother them, they won't bother you. A dude bought out an animatronic band from a pizza place to perform him songs for his birthday. And this is one of the songs. He kills it. Black markets kids ran in their schools Part 21. This one happened literally everywhere. Frickin' silly bands. When these were popular, pretty much everybody had some. But they mostly had the basic pack. But there were others that were more superior. The fantasy pack. If you had any of these, especially the genie, you were basically royalty. And everybody would want to trade you. One person in middle school bought a bunch of fantasy packs from the store when they were first released. And they didn't really care about the silly bands, so they sold them all. And made hundreds of dollars. Were you royalty? Or a simple commoner? Crazy things kids did in school. At one middle school, there was a kid that was nicknamed Cheeseburger. He got this nickname because one day during lunch, he snuck into the cafeteria and started stealing all of the cheeseburgers that were laid out for lunch. He was caught in the act and sent to the principal's office. But that wasn't the end of his troubles. A year later, he was caught stealing a teacher's laptop. The police were called, and in the process of them arresting him, he bit a police officer's hand, getting him sent to juvie, and no one ever heard from him again. Does this make you uncomfortable? There is a restaurant somewhere that serves up some very realistic looking cakes. Like these right here. That's a potato, right? No. It's cake. But then the video I was watching showed this clip. It's a cake of a pig, and the pig is pregnant. Watch the video. If you're ever at a party or you're just super bored with your friends, play this game. It's called Exposed. You download it and then open the app. And then you can join a game or create a game. When you create a game, it gives you a pin that your friends use to play the game with you. And then you put your name and your picture up there. This app is nuts, and don't play it if you're not ready for some drama. They ask you tons of questions like these. And then all your friends who are playing have to vote. And everyone sees who voted for who. There's even levels, and some of them definitely get a little inappropriate. But hey, this will definitely spice up a hangout. Link is in my bio. What my old carnival job taught me about carnivals. I'm gonna give you a tip that might be your best chance at winning a big prize. Get to the carnival very early in the day and head straight to the games. Where I used to work, we gave the biggest prizes out at the beginning of the day. That way, people would carry the big prize around the park, others would see it, and make them want to play the games. Give it a shot. Black Market's Kids Ran in Their Schools, a follower submission. When this kid was a freshman in high school, he hung out with this girl in his class because she was rich. And this girl didn't like doing her homework. So she would pay him $4 for every page of homework he would DM her. And then when it came to class projects, she didn't want to do those either. So she would ask him to do her project for her. And most times he would refuse. But the more he refused, the more money she offered him. So he would get $20 to $30 for every project he did for her. And whenever there's a test, she sits right next to him and copies his answers. When the test is over, she hands him $35. This kid is making bank. He says he has no plans of slowing down. Your umbrella might be trying to leave you. A homeowner's security camera caught an open umbrella outside their house during a rainstorm. And the video shows this umbrella standing up and walking away. Was it the wind or something more? Watch the video. Black Market's Kids Ran in Their Schools Part 17. This kid went to a school that always sold junk food and soda, until one day an announcement was made. They would continue to sell the junk food, but they will now only sell diet soda. This obviously made everybody mad. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. But this kid and his friend got an idea. They bought some backpack coolers, some 24 packs of Pepsi and Coke, and they sold them for $1 each. You can buy a 24 pack for like $9. Do the math. They were making solid money. The teachers and staff tried to shut them down, but their coolers were their backpacks, so they could do nothing about it. Black Market's Kids Ran in Their Schools. At one high school, there was a kid known as the pizza dealer. Throughout the beginning of the day, he would take orders from students. They would give him cash, and he would order a bunch of different pizzas from the local pizza place. But he timed it perfectly. Whenever he did this, the delivery guy would be outside the school right before lunch started. He would go get it, bring the pizza and all the goods back inside, and passed it out to his customers. He only made a little bit of profit, but people loved him, and everyone loves pizza. I bet you didn't know this about Applebee's. Did you know that every single Applebee's in the world has the same head chef? Oh, you didn't? Well, it's true. And this person might surprise you. The Applebee's head chef is... Black Market's Kids Used to Run in Their Schools Part 4. This one happened at a middle school. Apparently the school's snack machine sucked. So a group of kids decided to make and sell their own Kool-Aid gummy bears. They sold bags of them for $1 each, and they were so popular they sold 100 bags a day. But the school shut them down because they were making a mess in the bathrooms. But that didn't fly with the students. Everybody needed their Kool-Aid gummy bears. They were pissed. So this gave other kids an idea. They would try to make the same recipe and sell it to kids. Before you know it, everybody was making gummy bears and trying to take down the competition. Soon the school said anybody selling or eating gummy bears will be suspended. And just like that, the middle school gummy bear wars was over. Worst toy designs of all time, part 21. This one's not the toy that's weird, it's the instructions. It's for a battery-operated teddy bear that giggles and talks when you squeeze it, but the instructions are a little inappropriate. They probably could have done a better job of explaining how the batteries go in, cause this way is just... sus. See for yourself. Black Market's Kids Ran in Their Schools. A follower submission. When he was in high school, he was in the auto shop class, where you learn how to fix and work on cars. Well, he was the teacher's best student, and there was an extra bay in the shop. So the teacher allowed him to use that bay for his projects and assignments. He then had an idea. He decided he and his friends would open up an oil change and tire rotation business in that extra bay. They serviced most of the teacher's cars, and anybody who came in after seeing their flyers around town. Every day they would do about 60 oil changes from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Because of his hustle, they made over $250,000 in 3 years and are now looking to start their own garage.
Me in middle school deciding I'm gonna try to be a cool kid today. Practice being cool in mirror. Gotta lower those straps. If I walk cool, I'll be cool. If I sit cool, I'll be cool too.
Gosh, maybe I should take a bath.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. When he was in 3rd grade, he would sell stretched out, dried up baby wipes, because when baby wipes are dried out, they're very soft. He would tell the kids in his class that he actually sewed these mini blankets, and people bought them for 50 cents each. Eventually, one kid found out that these were just baby wipes. Word spread, and by the next year, he was shut down and canceled. Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. When he was in 8th grade, everybody was obsessed with shooting these. Some people call them hornets. Well, at his school, these hornet wars were getting out of hand. Everybody all over the school was using rubber bands to shoot folded pieces of paper at each other. They would get these rubber bands from the science teacher. Well, eventually the principal was like, this has to stop. The science teacher was then no longer allowed to give students rubber bands, so they were locked up. Well, our dude had an idea. He went to the store and bought a bag of 150 rubber bands for $5. Went to school and sold them for $1 each. Business was booming. He was making tons of money until one day, at the school talent show, a bunch of kids started firing hornets at the student performing on the stage. The school staff was so mad, so they went on the cameras to see if they could find out who did it. That's when they noticed a bunch of students following our dude to his locker. They thought he was selling drugs, so the next day at school they brought in a police officer and a drug-sniffing dog. They found bags of rubber bands and stacks of money. He was then suspended for 3 days. Weirdest things found in food. 2 Florida residents were shopping at Walmart. They were picking up some spring mix so they can go home and make some salads. Well, they got it, went home, and were super ready to make a healthy meal. But when they opened it, they found something incredibly disturbing. They noticed a dead, decomposing bat sitting in the spring mix. Walmart and the distributors of this product did not know what to do. They recalled every single one of these products, and to this day, no one knows how that dead bat got in their salad. Send this video to somebody that has a dog. Welcome to my video. I'm going to show you a picture of something somebody made for their dog that had recently passed away. It's a coin purse, but their coin purse looks just like their dog that had passed away. And I want to know, would you do this for your dog?
চিঠিটা আমি লিখছি তোমার জন্য।
কার্ডের কথাগুলো তুমি লিখছো? হ্যাঁ, আমি লিখেছি, কিন্তু কথাগুলো আমার না।
মেয়েটা দেখছিস?
কোন মেয়েটা?
তোদের বাসার দোতলায় আসছে।
মা, মোম দিয়ে যাও না। আরে আসতেছি রে বাবা। আপনার গান শুনে ছাদে আসলাম। আপনি গিটার বাজান বল।
কি দিল এটা? 100 টাকা? আমি তো চাইছিলাম। তোর মন খারাপ এটা? তুই কি আসার আগেই জানতি না আসার পর জানছিস?
আমার মনে হয় আমি জানি স্পেশাল মানুষটা কে। আরে রূপা না, আছে অন্য কেউ।
তোমাকে কিন্তু আমার অনেক ভাল লাগে আপু, কিন্তু তোমার ভাইটা না কেমন জানি। তোমরা 2 ভাই বোন, নিজের ভাই বোন, কিন্তু দুজনের না কোনো মিলই নাই। কই, সবাই তো বলে মিল আছে। দাদা বাড়িতে ঈদ না করলে মজা হয় বলেন?
এখানে অনেক মজা হবে।
দাদা বাড়িতে
ভাই আপনি নিয়ে আসেন, আমি আপনার 500 টাকায় দিব, ঠিক আছে? ঠিক আছে তো? হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, তাহলে নিয়ে আসবো না কিন্তু। ঠিক আছে ভাই। তুমি দুনিয়ার কিনা, তাই তো আমার সন্দেহ। মনে হচ্ছে বেহেশত থেকে হুড়পুরি নেমে আসছে।
কার্ডের কথাগুলো তুমি লিখছো? হ্যাঁ, আমি লিখেছি, কিন্তু কথাগুলো আমার না। আচ্ছা শোনো না, আমি তোমার জন্য একটা ঈদ কার্ড বানাইছি, আমি বাসা থেকে নিয়ে আসি। তুই বানাইছিস?
আমি চাই নাই তোমার মন খারাপ হোক।
এইটা এখন আমাকে বিশ্বাস করতে হবে। তোমার ভাইয়ের যে একটা বন্ধু আছে না, অয়ন ভাই, উনি অনেক চালাক আছে, অনেক স্মার্ট। এই আপু আপু আপু, শুনো শুনো শুনো, তুমি রাগ করলা?
তুমি যদি একটু পরো।
আপনাকে ঈদের শুভেচ্ছা।
ধন্যবাদ।
তোপো দাঁড়া।
মেয়েটা দেখছিস?
কোন মেয়েটা?
তোদের বাসার দোতলায় আসছে।
মা, মোম দিয়ে যাও না। আরে আসতেছি রে বাবা। আপনার গান শুনে ছাদে আসলাম। আপনি গিটার বাজান বল।
কি দিল এটা? 100 টাকা? আমি তো চাইছিলাম। তোর মন খারাপ এটা তুই কি আসার আগেই জানতি না আসার পর জানছস?
সাদা ওড়না, কপালে ছোট্ট একটা টিপ, রোদের আলো। এদিকে আয়, তুই আয়।
আরে
আজ বেলাতে তোমার সুরে সুরে।
এই বিকেলে মাঠে আসবি তো? ফয়সাল আসছিল, ঈদের পরে কক্সবাজার যাওয়ার প্ল্যান করতেছে।
এই তোর ছাদে যেতে হবে কেন?
ও মা, কারেন্ট নাই, ঘরে কি করব? আর কি সুন্দর জ্যোৎস্নার রাতে। এখানে ওস্তাদজির কাছে ভর্তি হয়েছি, পরশুদিন থেকে শিখতে যাব। আর আপনি এখন বানায় বানায় বলতেছেন আমার জন্য সাপোর্ট করছেন, এটা আমাকে বিশ্বাস করতে হবে। জীবন নেও না, আমি বিশ্বাসই করব না।
কেন আসছিস?
এমনি আসছি। কেন এখানে কি আসা যাবে না? নিষেধ আছে?
তোমার নাকি মন খারাপ?
আপনি আমার সাথে মজা করছেন?
না না,
কার্ডের কথাগুলো তুমি লিখছো? হ্যাঁ আমি লিখেছি, কিন্তু কথাগুলো আমার না। আচ্ছা শোনো না, আমি তোমার জন্য একটা ঈদ কার্ড বানাইছি, আমি বাসা থেকে নিয়ে আসি। তুই বানাইছিস?
আমাকে সালাম করলে আমি দিতে পারি।
দেখা যাবে। Recent and interesting experience in this country. Bangladesh is land of rivers, so it's not. আপনি গতকাল রাতে আর্জেন্টিনাকে সাপোর্ট করছেন। আপনি না
তোমার জন্য?
জানেন আমার না উপহার দিতে খুব ভাল লাগে।
আর উপহার পেতে?
সেটা তো আরো ভাল লাগে।
আমি মিথুন রাশি, ও মিথুন রাশি।
তো
ও আর্জেন্টিনা সাপোর্ট করে, আমি আর্জেন্টিনা সাপোর্ট করি।
একজোড়া ঝুমকা।
ঝুমকা? হঠাৎ ঝুমকা কেন?
আমি না এত সুন্দর কার্ড কখনোই দেখি নাই। আচ্ছা এত সুন্দর কার্ড ওয়ান ভাগ কই থেকে পাইলো বলেন তো?
কিন্তু আমি যেদিন তোমাকে ঝুমকা পরিয়ে দেব সেদিন তুমি চোখে কাজলও পরবে।